Give me a second while I check to make sure all of the different platforms are good to go. But in the meantime, welcome anybody who is in here right now. Oh wow, there's 9 of you already. That's crazy. Give me 1 second. I'll need to make sure all of the YouTube and the X is up. Alright, that's looking good. Looking good. Give me one. Yep, okay. Alright. And then, let's see here. Oh, let me just post this in here. Alright. I think we should be good to go. All platforms are up and running. Yeah. Alright. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon. How about that price action this morning, huh? what the what the heck is this? From the close, it was, let's see here. Oh, let's turn that off. About a 2.5% drop. And we're basically right back up where we started. Oh man, these settlement cycles are something. Um, Welcome everybody. I'm not gonna spend too much time in the chat today because we got some news to cover and just everything in general. But welcome. If you guys could do me a favor though, if we start getting like past 2414, then let me know because I don't know how to have a widget to kind of. Is it gonna happen right now? Oh wait, I could just put a little dingy. Actually, let's just put it right here at 2419. If we go past there, then we might have to look at the chart for a little bit. Because more or less, I am expecting us to go to 25 this week. Because for today and tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of settlements due, FTD settlements. So if everything goes correctly for this week, then you should be seeing some action. But let's see here. Yeah, this is from Ready Player One. I'm gonna, for that scene, I'm gonna be posting that next week, right before I think is about to go BOOMIE time. So I think that'll be fun. But this is right before Barsville gets the first key. So yeah, basically, Halliday, who is the guy who made the whole game, he's talking to his partner and he's like, "Why can't we go backwards for once? Backwards, really fast, fast as we can." And he does like a dumb little laugh, like, "Oh, really put the pedal to the metal, you know?" And then Barzabal like, "Oh." um, but I'm hoping that moment is next week. So we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, good morning everyone. This is from Good Morning Vietnam. It's funny because I'm Vietnamese and yeah, I don't know. I miss you, Robin. For today, I know there's a bunch of stuff happening in the news and whatnot, especially with the Iran war, and there's a lot of astrological events happening. We got like aliens and stuff, but today we're going to be talking just about price action, because that's the most important thing to focus on. I'm going to try to. I know that I said that this is going to be my shortest stream, but I don't think so anymore because once I started getting into the Missy Elliott emoji timeline stuff, I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be longer than I thought. Oops. Sorry. Um, but yeah, important disclaimer for today. obviously this is all speculation. So I'm gonna put it, but I don't know though, at the end of everything. So it's not misinformation if I say, but I don't know though, and psych. um, but before we like move on to some other stuff, I need to just say, if you haven't seen Minority Report, I highly recommend you watch it. For those of you who are finally waking up to the fact that there's a very specific country that is in charge of our country and pulling the strings on everything. I've noticed a lot of people noticing and waking up to it, and they've started to speak out against this country. And I just want to put it out there, that country very much is in charge of everything, including all of the artificial intelligence companies and weapons and the military industrial complex. They own all of it. So I just want you to be aware that every time you speak out against that country, they are more or less like putting you on a list and keeping tabs on you. And so I don't want you to just all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm just going to speak about them and not like understand what I'm doing and just willy nilly do it, because you're more or less putting a target on your back in a bad way, and your family as well. So I don't want to like alarm you, but I think you should be alarmed. Um, so just be careful about that. I don't want to speak on it too much, but just the more you notice, just notice and then keep it to yourself, because I don't think it's time yet for us to actually like fight back against that front of things, like the big cabal. Um, but yeah, moving forward, I'm ready to kick some fucking ass. So let's go. So this is the too long didn't read. Um, Basically, uh, the way I see this happening, in the Missy Elliott emoji timeline, there's fire, there's boom, and then there's cheers. So basically, we get about 3 days of just mega uppies. So basically, the first day that we get the fire, which I'm calling it Parabolic Day, and then the 2 days after that, we get the boom and the cheers. And the cheers is going to be the peak. So some things to watch out for Parabolic Day. This is what happened in last year for 522. Oh, whoops. Let's take a look at that real quick. This was leading up to 522, this price action. And then this was 522. Actually, let me just show you like the big. Oh, yeah. So remember, this is the whole thing. The first one, big hump. And then this was OPEX of last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And then a little hump. And we're basically in here right now. We're waiting for this. Parabolic Day is right here where it finally goes. Phew. So that's what the visual looks like for you guys. Um, but some things to keep in mind for what Parabolic Day should look like and feel like. There should be some type of morning gap up. On 521, it closed at 28.05, and then the open was at 28.55, so a whole 50 cents, about 2% between the close and the open. So there's a lot of action happening in after hours and pre-market between those 2 days. That's going to be one of the indicators that I'm looking at, that this is Parabolic Day. Another one, explosive fucking volume. Explosive volume. Like, I mean, just look at that down at the bottom. That's the volume. And then, actually, I'm going to make this bigger for you guys. Boom. Fucking just explosive volume happening on Parabolic Day. Um, yeah. Uh, from what we've seen so far. Oh, let me open this up. So this is the price action that we've seen so far during this run. Right here is the week that Ryan Cohen bought. And so if we look at the volume here, the highest volume that we've seen was here and here. 126 was the day that Michael Burry told us that he opened a position, and then 2-2 was just another day. I haven't looked into fully why 2-2 happened the way it did, but I have a feeling that settlement stuff fell into it. But 24 million and 37 million were the volume for those 2 days. And then we had good volume on 2.5 and 2.6, both clocking in at a little over 10 million. But other than that, everything has been under 10 million days for the volume. So I'm thinking parabolic day, we should at least get 10 million, but I'm really hoping that we get 15 million plus. And then also for 522, it was an 8.8% day for the, if you take the high of the day divided by the low of the day. So basically it was $31 divided by 28.49. That was a difference of 8.8%. I like doing that calculation because I basically, it tells me that this was a particularly volatile day. And that tells me basically that there's a lot of settlement happening because just by looking at the day change between the close and the open, or between the close of yesterday into the close of today, it doesn't give us the full picture of what happened during that specific day. I found that doing the highs divided by the lows is a very good indicator of shit's happening that day. But another thing, it was for 522 parabolic day, that was a 10% close during this entire sequence. It wasn't even the biggest percent change for the day, but during the BOOMIE sequence, which was the Firebank Cheers, it was. So just something to keep in mind. For this parabolic day, I'm thinking it'll probably be a 7% plus day. I'm not exactly sure because it's a lot of different things are like falling into place along that time. So it's hard to tell. But this is just a recap on last year's parabolic day. So these are the couple of things I'm going to be looking for this parabolic day. For this year, I'm thinking it'll be either 3.9 or 3.10, basically next Monday or Tuesday. So just keep that in mind and pay attention to it. Oh, and I'm also, this document, I know that in the past I haven't released these to you guys, but for this one, I'm thinking I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna leave this for you guys to look at and review on your own time, because there's just a lot of information in here that's gonna be helpful. And also just to make you guys aware, I'm gonna be more or less absent for the next like 3 weeks probably ish. Basically, I'm going home to my family, gonna be hanging out with them for a little bit. Yeah, the universe was just telling me to do that, so I was like, all right, I gotta go home and see the fam. So I'm gonna be uh, like, I have a bunch of memes and stuff like pre-canned, preloaded, and so they'll be there. But more or less, I will be AFK and not like responding to stuff. So if you've like sent me a DM or anything like that, don't expect a response back for a while. Sorry. Um, but yeah, once we get into the settlement logistics from the DD that I read last week, we're going to go into C34 and T35. But this chart, I basically put out this chart like to kind of like visualize what the fuck I'm looking at, and trying to see visually what can we expect moving forward. Basically, today, in terms of this week from 3.2 to 3.6, today should be the most FTDs, which would basically explain why we saw this massive movement here. And then tomorrow should be the second most. Yeah. And then T70 is basically T35 times 2, and then T105 is T35 times 3. And so basically T70 and T105 I don't think that they'll come into play until next week, really. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Um, yeah, but from my understanding, Cheers Day, which I'm thinking will be either 311 or 312. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but that should be the best time to exit calls. And once we get into the May 2025 recap, I'll go into a little bit more. But this is the peak estimate that I have currently right now. I'm thinking the intraday peak will probably be Wednesday the 11th, and I'm thinking like 29 plus bucks. But then the scam hours will probably be on Thursday the 12th, and it could go all the way up to 32, but likely it's going to be 30 to 31 ish. For this estimate, I would love to be within one trading day, but going back to my Curry chart, any day between 310 and 317, that's going to be good in my book, because as far as I'm aware, no one's been able to get like anywhere near. So if I can get at least within one trading week, that's going to be good. And then obviously this method is not built for every single large FTD day. It works for specifically this one because of Ryan Cohn's big buy. He basically gave us a ramp to kind of play off of. Going back to my stoplight sequence, that was the green light. And so I don't want you guys to think that every single large FTD day is going to be exactly like this movement where we see a large like 35-day progressive uppies, because we've seen like oops we've seen like basically here going from September into October. I mean, there was a lot of fucking FTDs in here, and then obviously T plus 35 from that, it went downies. So there's just a lot of different factors to keep in mind. But this is the gist of my settlement swinging. Basically, there's the order, which starts off the sequence. It's the flushed face from the Missy Elliott emoji timeline. And then this is going to be a super large FTD day. And I'm guesstimating like over 15 million notional on it. And then there's going to be the appetizer, the entree, and then the dessert. The appetizer is C plus 34, which is about T plus 25 from there. And then the entree is T34, T33, 34, and 35. That's the fire bang cheers. And then the dessert is about C147 to T105. They're about like within a week range of each other. And we'll get to that in a little bit. And then this is just the historical prices from May of last year. And then so far what we've seen for January and February of this year. And so I just put that in there so you guys can look at it later. Some recommended resources, because I'm not going to be like updating you guys on a day-to-day basis. I personally really like Jackie Latitz. I enjoy watching him and listening and learning from him and what he needs to put out. For those of you, I've seen a lot of you guys are like looking for day-to-day updates on price action. Watch him. I think that he's really good at technical analysis. And so I highly recommend, if that's what you're looking for, is day-to-day charts and updates and analysis, just watch him, because you're not going to get that stuff from me. I'm making this stream, and then that's all you're going to get for basically like the next 3 weeks-ish probably. But then some other reading materials. Basically this fucking Code of Federal Regulations, the 242 fucking 204 whatever. This is basically the short sale requirements, like the C plus 35 day requirement for them to close out short sales and FTDs and stuff like that. I recommend that you guys read this because it's just super helpful to understand. Then I also recommend the T plus 35 Bruno paper. I firmly believe that this was what Rowan Kitty was talking about with his Bruno tweet. that he posted in June of 2024. But this basically gives us credence that there is some type of pattern happening. From what I remember, it didn't go into why it's happening, but it just like plotted out visual data and graphs and charts telling us there is indeed something here. And then the DD that I read last week was from a guy called the GameStop's Now. I was looking specifically at the failure accommodation waterfall part 1, and then the failure accommodation waterfall part 2. Those were super helpful for me to finally put together the C plus 35 and T plus 35 analysis, because up until like last week, I had been just like get like not guessing, but I just saw a pattern happening and I couldn't explain fully why. And these DDs helped me to explain why, and we'll get into the settlement logistics in a little bit. But shout out to him because that was super helpful. And then this SEC document, I haven't finished reading this yet, but I have a feeling it'll be helpful. Yeah, this is from fucking 2013, just talking about the reg show closeout obligations and whatnot. Yeah, but moving forward, I know that a bunch of people have like laid out their own like theories and stuff. Actually, let me check the chart real quick. Okay, we're still there. I know that a lot of people have tried to basically explain the settlement cycles in different DDs over the years, and I've read a lot of them in the hopes of trying to understand it myself. But it wasn't until this guy put it out that it finally like clicked for me. And there's different reasons for that. And I don't know if anybody else has like put it all out before. But credit to him for putting it out in a way that I understood. So basically, if we're looking at the notional, basically what I understand about the notional is that that's the amount of money that it takes to fucking like clear out these failure to delivers, because these numbers, you have to multiply them by the cost per share. And if I understand this correctly, excuse me, basically the notional is like the total amount of money that it'll cost to fucking close these out. So basically what we saw from Ryan Cohen's, let me make this bigger for you all. This was Ryan Cohen's buy on 120. This was also the biggest notional day for the FTDs. And basically it just set off this whole big train. I'm still waiting on the FTD report to come out for January 30th and beyond. So I don't have that information yet. Yeah. But for this whole series, the notional comes out to about 21 million, which we haven't seen that since here on 12/3, which we'll get into that day in the T70 that's coming up. But basically, the way that I see it, actually, let me pull this up on Chart Exchange. It came out. Okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm so stoked. I'm so stoked. Okay, so 2-2 and 2-5. You guys gotta give me a second. Actually, can you see this? Oh, my bad, my bad. I gotta like. What is this? It's an ad. Oh, okay. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let me move my fucking head. Okay. Okay, can you guys see it now? Okay, good. So let's make this bigger. Yeah, so 2-2. Oh, if you guys remember from a past stream, I said that I didn't look at these charts or these numbers, um, and I was wrong. Basically, this is going to be C34. Yeah, so this is important, but it basically. Oh, whoops. Uh, so basically, on this page that I was talking about, this goes into it. But basically, the way I see it is C plus 34 is the appetizer day. This is where you're just getting little finger foods. It's a little taste of what's to come. But basically, let's read part two. If a participant is of a registered clearing agency has a failure to deliver position at a registered clearing agency in an equity security resulting from a sale of a security that a person is deemed to own pursuant to blah blah blah, and that such person intends to deliver as soon as all restrictions on delivery have been removed, the participant shall, and then this is the important part, by no later than the beginning of regular trading hours on the 35th consecutive calendar day following the trade date for the transaction. So basically, how to dumb that down for everybody. I'm gonna move my head again. Whoops. So here is where Ryan Cohen bought. So basically, 7 calendar weeks later, he has the failure to delivers have to finish by then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the failure to delivers for, oh wait, no, whoops, 5. My bad. Yeah, so 35th consecutive calendar day, that's 5 calendar weeks. My bad. I'm thinking of, I got it crossed with T plus 35. So C plus 35 is 5 calendar weeks. So by the 24th is where the FTDs from here needed to deliver by. But it says that by the beginning of regular trading hours. You can't trade options until then. So in order to deliver, you need to deliver the day before. So that's why I say C plus 34. So basically the FTDs from then, the appetizer portion comes here on the 23rd. Let's look at what happened the 23rd. Oh no. Actually, let's put on extended because I think that'll be easier to see. Wow, guys, look at that big booby. They have it on the 23rd. Wow, that's so cool. Look at that. And then if you also remember, there were 2 days that he bought, and the second day that he bought also had big FTDs, almost 3 million. So, what happened then on the 24th? Whoa, guys, look at that. Big boomies from the bottom to the top. Wow, that's a whole 6.72%. That's a nice appetizer if I do say so myself. So, damn, I have too many fucking tabs open and shit. So that's the appetizer, C plus 35. So now, going back to here, so 2-2 is going to be another good day. So that is going to deliver on 3-6 because it has to deliver before 3-9 opens. So 3-6 is going to be looking spicy. Actually, I am going to, give me 1 second. I need to update just this list because YOLO. Yeah. So 3-6 and 3-11. So Friday should be very fun. Wow. Wow. Holy shit. Yeah. Moving forward. So a bunch of this stuff then is going to be, how do I put this? These are images that were taken from the GameStops Now, his DD. Um, I highly recommend you guys all read like through his DD so that you can understand, because I'm going to be just like giving you tiny clips that are important to how I see my own theory. But basically that T25 is basically right around equal to C34. They happen right around the same time. The big difference between them is when you throw holidays into it. Yeah, but basically, what he's saying is that T25 is the first wall, and then you add T plus 8/T plus 10 to there, and then that comes up with the T plus 33 to T plus 35. So basically, C plus 34 is BOOMIE Day 1 in the sequence, and then if that's a holiday, then C plus 33 is BOOMIE Day 1. So yeah. And then I'll leave this up for you guys again to see in the document. And you can read up on it yourself. But basically, enrichment is basically the likelihood that it happens. He saw a pump at T25 and then T35. Yeah. And then basically, it all has to do with like the settlement cycle in the sequence. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. He does a much better job of doing it because it's much more in depth. I'm like giving you guys like a retarded, too long didn't read version of it. But then also amplitude decay, which basically means the strength that is behind the FTD settlement. It basically gets lower and lower each time. And what he's saying is that at T plus 158, that's the half-life of it. And basically that's retention. Yeah, I have some questions to ask him about this, like getting into the more specifics of like how much of the amplitude is remaining at T25 and the T70 and stuff like that. But that's for another time. And then he was also talking about convergence sequences for even longer down the road, but we're not going to get into that because it doesn't help us here in these next 2 to 3 weeks. And then this is, yeah, more stuff along the road. I think they put that up there already. Oops. And then this is just, yeah, more explanation of stuff. You can read that on your own time. Yeah, and then, in my opinion, the main course, which ends up being the time span between T plus 33 to T plus 35, basically the way that he explained it was this was options clearing transit time, like the extra oomph to it. In my opinion, this is the main course and the side dish meal. So that's what it looks like. And then this was the meme that I made. Magic 8 Ball will MM finally play by the rules and deliver on T plus 35? I hope that you understand this meme. And then this is the emoji timeline sequence for today. I think we are here. I think we're at the angry cat. Yeah. Oh man. I was having a big brain blast yesterday with the emoji timeline. Yeah. I think I've gotten like from the apple all the way to cheers. I've gotten that half of it figured out, like what they mean, like day to day, like what he was trying to communicate with this. Oh man, I'm so excited to get into it. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And then T plus 105, that's the dessert. Boom. And that usually happens at around C plus 154. But it's usually within a calendar week of C147. I know that I mean, you guys have known by now that I've been talking very highly about C147 a lot. And I'm just happy that it's finally clicking together of why it's happening. And basically T105, it fluctuates between C149 and C158 depending on how many holidays are in between. But these upcoming dates are important C105 dates for us to look at. Basically, 312 is going to be a good one, and then 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a massive fucking one. Look at that notional. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. But let's get into the settlement swinging theory. Got some Tarzan memes for you guys. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. I mean, the way that Rory Kitty trades, he basically, he fucking does some crazy shit, man. I guarantee you, he bought at the bottom, and then he sold some right here, and he probably bought again here, and then rolled some right here, and then rolled that thing to Valhalla. I don't know for sure, obviously, it's just speculation, because I don't think that he's been doing his 5,000 call blocks. I think that the 5,000 call blocks, he was doing that here to basically let us know, like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But man, this sequence, what a fucking play. That guy's a fucking genius, man. Like, I can't speak highly enough about what he's done. Holy shit. But quoting the great Ryan Cohen, who also is a fucking genius. If it works, it's genius. If it doesn't work, then you know it will be totally, totally foolish. Ryan Cohen, Butt Farm 69. Oh, just so you guys, I don't know if any of you guys, well, some of you probably do. It's the Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky quote that I am quoting. Man, fucking WebP. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, so looking back on 2025 of last year, I wanted to like put this out into a calendar sequence so you can visually fucking see it. Hold on. Okay. So you can visually see it. So Ryan Cohen buys 500k shares on the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks later, that's when we get the Firebang cheers. But because of 2 holidays in the sequence, we have to add 2 days to it, or 2 trading days to it. So 1, 2, cheers ends up being exactly 35 trading days later from his buy. Like, that's just crazy how that fucking works out. Yeah, even though the peak itself was on the pre-market of the 28th, the best time to sell the options would have been the morning of the 27th. Oh, we'll get into that a little bit. But basically, yeah, add 7 weeks and then add however many holidays as a trading day, and then boom, you get the peak. And then so doing the same thing again for this year. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier because Ryan Cohen, Ryan Cohen bought twice. But the first day, that's the one that had the most FTDs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you had President's Day back here. So you had 1 trading day. So the 11th. But also because of his second buy, I think between the 11th and 12th, that's going to be like Cheers Day. Either one of them or maybe both of them. I don't know. Because if you also remember, I was talking about this day right here, the T105 for this day falls on 312. So I don't know if that's going to just make 311 twice as big, or if it's going to be split between 311 and 312. But then there's also part of what the GameStops Now was talking about was that sometimes the settlement gets delayed all the way up to T plus 45. So I have a contingency plan just in place, just in case that happens, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah, but that's settlement swinging. And so let's go back into last week and take a look at what the fuck happened. Basically, the low happened right at the beginning, right in the beginning of the week, and then we got a pump up to the high, and then retrace back a little bit, and then a second pump on Thursday, and then a big V pattern on Thursday as well. And then Thursday morning ended up being the high of the week. And then also pay attention, volume was between 4 and 5.7 million for the week, which in the grand scheme of things, that's on the lower side, but that's usually what happens when we are at the low volatility sequence. And this was a beautiful chart. Yeah. And then, yeah, Monday was the bottom in the pump. And then Tuesday pumped to 24.34, then pull back. Wednesday was a mini pump, and then wedge, and then pump again. And then Thursday morning pump in the 24.53. That was the high, or 54, depending on what broker you're looking at. And then another pump again that same fucking day. That was a wild volatility day, even though there was like no fucking volume. I mean, the volume was only 5 mil on the day, which is crazy to me. But that's something to be expected. Yeah, and then Friday was a mini pump, and then it's springing. It is springing. And then what we saw this morning was down. But then it quickly recovered since then. Yeah, so something to pay attention to. Basically, these FTDs that were due, they line up very, very coincidentally with what we saw. Basically, whatever the C plus 34 was for that respective day, the pump happened like from the day before, basically. So this lines up very well with what we were seeing this past week. I don't want to go into it too much because this is something that you'll need to like digest on your own time. Otherwise, it's just going to be like too much information all at once and you're just going to get bogged down by it. But let's go into May of last year and what we were looking at. So remember, this was the whole sequence. Ryan Cohn bought about here, and then first hump, and then pull back. We've already finished this sequence, and we've already finished like this sequence right here. And so now we're basically right here waiting for this last week to do its thing, and then next week will be parabolic day. What's happening now? Okay. Yeah, and so then this is a close-up. If you pay attention, once we hit this day right here, which is the cat ear sequence, actually let's go to this one because it has the emojis next to it. You'll see that then it goes the peak, and then the next day is the bottom, and then it wedges in between those two periods. This red dotted line right here was basically like the consolidation point for the 10th day, which might end like that ended up coincidentally being the triangulation point before parabolic day happens right here. I don't know if it's going to happen again like this time, but basically I have that point as 2383 for that red dotted line. Can you see that? Okay, yeah, good. So 2383 might be the triangulation point for this week, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just a pattern from last time. I don't know if it's a pattern at all. It's just something that I noticed, but I'm going to be paying attention to it and seeing if that works out again. But one of the things that I noticed about the uh, Missy Elliott emoji timeline, a lot of these things can be explained in some way, like shape or form. Like he was very methodical in using these emojis to communicate what the fuck it looks like or what the fuck the motion is like. Like for example, the 6 day. This looks like the 6 motion, like it goes up, straight up like that. And the handshake, you down and then up. It's like a handshake motion. The tent, I mean, that looks like a fucking tent. And then the cat ears, this, I think you have to go into a more, a smaller chart. Oh shit, that's on the 90-minute. I don't feel like going in a smaller chart right now. But more or less, all of these have some sort of indicator for what we should be looking at. The bullseye day, so this one had a big down and then a big up to bring us back to basically like within 1% of closing for the open. For this, I'm interpreting it as there just needs to be some sort of big movement. Because if you look back on 2024, this was just a green day. Like it was just straight up. But then for 2025, there was a big down and then a big up. So it could have both. It doesn't necessarily say what the close is for the day, but I do think there needs to be some sort of large upward movement that happens on this day. So I'm thinking tomorrow we might see something similar where it's a big down and then a big up, or maybe we just get the big up at open and then a big down. Um, yeah, and then the eye looking at days, basically a big a big up at open and then it closes red for the day. And I've noticed that on both of these eye sequences. For Chewy, so looking at it closer, Chewy day, if you notice, was right after eye day, where we close red and then it dumps even more and there's a big dump in after hours and pre-market, and then overall it's just red on the day. So this is Chewy day. Because what do you see on the Chewy chart for the same sequence? There's a big dump, and then in after hours, the previous day, there's a big dump, and then the pre-market, the dump stays, but then the rest of the day is just upwards. I think this is what he meant by look at Chewy. So if I'm correct, that day should be, I think this Thursday. But basically, whichever day this week where we see Chewy make a big dump in the after hours before that day, or if we see Chewy make a big dump in after hours, and if we see Chewy dump again the next morning, and then that day ends up being big green, that's Chewy day. And I think it's going to be Thursday. And I think it's like some kind of swap hedging related bullshit. But then the flag microphone emoji, this one's awesome. Where'd I put it? Where'd I fucking put it? Okay, I guess we'll need to go in the notes. So basically, the flag emoji is talking about a bullish flag, a bullish wedge flag, or a bullish pennant. It's basically what the chart will look like on that day. If you notice, here's flag day. This is exactly what it fucking looks like. A bullish pennant. Huh. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Especially since what I'm expecting will be Thursday, Chewy day. is big red, and so we have a good a good runway to go upwards for Flag Day. But then the microphone part, I think, um, basically stands for some holidays, because some of the holidays, basically what that does is it constipates the settlements that happen. Um, so basically, instead of having the settlements uh, over 2 days, now it gets pushed to whatever day the holiday returns from. So that's just something to keep in mind. Um, yeah, so I think that that's microphone or flag microphone emoji. And then the watch day, another big pump in the morning, and then down for red, and then we get into parabolic day, that sequence. So basically, uh, yeah, this was basically what happened in 2025. And then getting into like the actual BOOMIE sequence. Parabolic day is t plus 33, boom is t plus 34, and then cheers is t plus 35. If you notice, actually this chart will be easier because this one includes the extended hours, and then this one is just regular trading hours. So this is the 27th right here, which is right here. You see, it's basically the same height more or less as the opening on the next day, because the next day it ends up being just down red. But right here, this is where the options IV is at the highest. And so on Cheers Day, basically the 11th and the 12th, what I'm guesstimating is this year's is Cheers Day. This is going to be the day that I'm going to be letting go of my options, basically. This is obviously not financial advice, but these are just patterns that I've noticed. And basically somewhere between like 9:40 and 9:45, somewhere around there is when I'm expecting to see the peak of it. But then it'll dump a little bit, retrace, and then come back later in the day. But because this sequence is, the IV is less, it's basically the options isn't as lucrative to exit on. And then it goes up again, and then the morning of the next day, it basically gets to like the final settlements that it has to do. This is where all the shares need to settle. This is basically like option settlement day, and this is share settlement happening before the opening hours, and then basically just dump. So that's pretty much May. So my current positions, I have 24 calls for 417. Um, I bought them like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago. Basically, whatever day that one dude rolled it from the 21 calls to these, I rolled it with him, or I entered the position with him. So they've been, for the most part, mostly in the red, with some green here and there. But I'm still holding on to that right now. And I've also been trading weeklies to, I mean, I've been very happy with how I've been doing all these weeklies. But I don't want to tell you them because I personally, they're really dangerous to trade. And I think that most of you guys are just going to lose your money by trading them. So I'm not going to tell you what they are. So, all right, keep your secrets. Um, but basically, the way I see it is we're basically like surfing this settlement swinging, settlement surfing, whatever. There's going to be moments where the IV is going to be really high, and those are going to be good moments to take profits on. And then there are going to be moments where the IV is going to pull back. Basically, we're waiting on some solid IV to happen. I mean, the solid IV was this morning. I don't know if it'll continue. I think it will. But I mean, this upward sequence is pretty good already. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll need to see. So it's just something to keep in mind that there's going to be it's going to be tough to trade this moving forward. So that's why I put this here, because for this, once it starts going like super in the money, like once we get past 25, 26, then taking profits on this is going to be very easy because there's also going to be a lot of theta on it. You're basically not in a close enough position yet where we're going to get theta fucked. Yeah, so I'm comfortable like putting this one out there just because I think it's a safer option for people who want to dip their fingers into options and whatnot. But again, if you've never traded options before, just trade shares, dude. I think it's a much safer option. And also, none of this is financial advice. I'm retarded. So trade at your own risk. Also, don't blame me if this goes wrong, because that has happened before. So then, getting into this week, yeah, this was the chart that I showed you again. This was from May of last year, and that's the Chewy. I'm thinking that's going to be Thursday. But basically, what I'm expecting for this week is 25 plus, and then it wedges again. I'm thinking 25.20 for the high, and then I'm guessing Tuesday will be it. Um, yeah, basically, these are the settlements that are happening here. And then you can go look on this on your own time. And I'm also thinking that we should have more volume than last week. Last week's volume was an average of 5 to 7 million shares per day. So I'm thinking we'll be a little bit above there. Maybe like 6 to 8 million, something like that. What's it look like it today? It's only 2 million so far. Oh, gross. Disgusting. So yeah, I'm guessing we'll probably get a little bit more boomies in a power hour or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, more FTD charts. Basically, I tried putting these out in different formats in different ways so that you can visualize it differently. Because I'm still working on trying to figure out which one works best for me. I think this one right here is the easiest one to look at because it tells us what day it is and then what we're looking at to expect for that day. Whereas with this one, it was what the FTD day that started the whole sequence looks like, and then we have to do some math at the end of it. That's confusing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said that. So 2-2 was the current peak of this run so far, and I also said that it's likely to have the solid FTDs. What was it again? Yeah. Oh my God, I love it when a plan comes together. Look at that. Look at that. Holy shit, that had more FTDs than 120. T plus 35. Also 324. That's going to be right around earnings. I gotta take a moment. I gotta take a fucking moment, y'all. Oh my God. So the powers that be in the universe that are making everything align very nicely. Thank you. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's so fucking awesome. I'm so psyched. I'm so fucking psyched. Yeah, so Friday of this week, we're definitely, I hesitate to say definitely. I'm very confident we're getting a bull flag day. Very fucking confident about that. Holy shit. Yeah. And then for this week, in terms of T plus 35, the only day of significance is going to be 3/6 is Friday. Yeah. And basically, this was the T plus 35 for that day. So less than a million notional. But still, this was kind of when the overall sequence started ramping up for the FTDs. Yeah. Let me move my head. Let me move my head. Yeah, so you see here, 114, this is when we start this whole sequence. Yeah, because we go from basically bupkis, and then we go a million almost, and then boom, Ryan Cohen buys 5 million, and then boom, we have big boomies. I made this like chart at around 11 a.m. this morning, so about 3 hours ago. And I think it's going to be something a little like this. Again, it's just squiggly lines. Don't take too much credence on it. If you were trading weeklies right now, don't listen to me and trade weeklies. That's dumb. Don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. And what I say is don't listen to me. But it should look a little like this. Yeah. Yeah. As always, take these predictions with healthy skepticism. These daily predictions are not tried and tested. These predictions are meant to be assessed later on to see their accuracy. And I'm still trying to pinpoint this FTD dance, the settlement swinging. So, yeah. With this, I made this prediction last night. So this was before. But basically, I predicted that today was going to be a morning low. The exact price that I put on here, I did not predict this. I didn't know how low it was going to get. But it got to 23.40, which actually was lower than what I was expecting, because I was expecting this, like 23.83, maybe 23.70. So it was interesting that in intraday it got all the way down to 23.40. But then a big push upward, which fucking happened. What's up? Big push upward. Yeah, this is also the biggest weekly FTDs for this week. And then I'm guessing, yeah, we should be decent volume, 5.5 million shares for the day by the time we close. So we're about 3 million shares shy of that. But between the next 2 hours, I don't know, we'll fucking see. We'll fucking see. But yeah, raise the roof. Oh shit. My head's right in the middle. My bad, my bad. And then for tomorrow, this is going to be the second highest FTDs for this week. I'm thinking a morning peak and then a retrace / wedge. I think that this is the highest likelihood day for the weekly peak. And if I had to guess, 25.20, and then we drop from there. That's my guess. Again, I'm thinking this will be tomorrow morning. And that's Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible falling out of the sky. Yo, this motherfucker got some stunts, man. I fucking love the Mission Impossible series. It's so good. I'm getting on a tangent. Man, I fucking love that movie. And then Wednesday, more like Wedge Day. Yeah. Yeah, 30 Rock. If you haven't watched 30 Rock, I fucking love that show. It's so funny. Liz Lemon. Yeah. But this is going to be a wedge day. Again, it's going to be... We're not getting a new high, and we're not getting a new low. It's just going to be wedging. Yeah. And it's also very likely going to be a red day. So, yeah. And toy! Fucking Tuco, baby. From Breaking Bad. Yeah. And then Thursday, this is going to be Chewy Day. This is the day, remember, watch out for Chewy doing its funk shit in in after hours the day before, and then pre-market that day. This is also going to be the wedge tightening and the calm before the storm. This is the day where I'm expecting us to retrace to the bottom. And I'm guessing like 23.83, maybe 23.70, something like that. Yeah. Remember this line right there? This is where I'm thinking we retrace to. This is going to be a nails on the chalkboard type day. It's also going to be the day that I'm going to be finalizing my entry positions. And then I'm going to be sitting tight. I'm telling you guys, lock in, buckle up, and then also set a phone alert for like 25.50 because you're probably not going to need to look at the chart. And then go outside, enjoy the day, rest and relax, touch some grass. Just, you don't need to look at the chart today because basically you're going to need a day to rest before the fucking boomies start. Because remember, Flag Day. It's going to be Friday. I'm very, dude, I'm very confident about this, especially because of the FTDs from the C plus 34. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped for Friday. Like, I'm fucking, oh my god. Gotta change my underwear. Whew. But yeah, Bull Flag Day. It's going to be volatile. I'm guessing it could be like 521. Basically, you see that morning pump? Yeah. And then close. No, it didn't close red. Oops. Erase that. That didn't happen. Oh, whoops. I put this. Should have been on Monday. Hold on. Let's put that down there for now. Yeah. So obviously, I have my theory that parabolic day will probably be 3.9 or 3.10, but 3.6 is the first day where parabolic day is on the table, in my opinion. So if 3.6 ends up being like a fucking 8% day or some shit like that, like all of the indicators that I was talking about for parabolic day in the Too Long Didn't Read, if that ends up being for 3.6, then shift my timeline by like a day forward. Yeah. So, I mean, just pay attention to it. Something to keep in mind. Lock and load day. Yeah, boom, boom. And then we're going to get into BOOMIE week. Yeah, so remember, whatever parabolic day is, add 2 trading days to that. It'll be fire is parabolic day, and then bang, cheers. Cheers is going to be the day to let go. And right now, I'm seeing 29 plus. But it could be all the way up to 32. Again, prices. It's very difficult for me to guess what prices are. I'm more confident about dates and about that settlement like swinging cycle. But when it comes to prices, I'm more or less pulling this shit out of my ass. So take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, and then these are just different charts that for you to look at later. Yeah. So now going back into day by day. 3.9 Monday, it could be the eye emoji or it could be fire. It all depends. 3.9 and 3.10 could be parabolic day, but I'm thinking it'll be 3.10 personally, Mario day. But yeah, these are my reasonings for each day. 2-3. Oh, was 2-3? Yeah, it's meh. Whoops. What the fuck? How the hell do you do a strike through again? Oh, Alt Shift 5. Yeah, Monday, I'm thinking likely like a noon or a midday high, and then retrace to close for a red day. This is going to be the day that the algo is going to be fighting to stay down. Should have added this here too. Oops. Yeah, you see bull flag day, and then boom. You see how it also, that eye day, it escapes the pennant. or escapes this wedge by a lot. Um, so yeah, so I'm thinking somewhere around like noon will be peak, but then close red on the day. And I'm guessing that'll be Monday. That's my best guess. Yeah. And then I'm thinking 310, that'll be parabolic day, big green. Um, we've got a lot of meh FTDs for that, but 2-4, what was 2-4? Oh, 2-4 is no FTDs? Dang. Okay. Hmm. I still think it's going to be parabolic day. But then 311 and 312, they're going to be big boomy days. I'm not sure which one of these days is going to be peak, but I'm pretty confident that one of these two will be. Yeah, and then this is T plus 35 from Ryan Cohen's first buy day, and then this is T plus 35 from Ryan Cohen's second buy day. So combination of the two. And there's just a lot of FTDs being due those days. And then I think Friday will probably be a red day. Yeah. And then for another visual, this is basically the hot zone for the peak window, what I think is likely to happen. Yeah. Most likely day for peak is 311, 312. Second most likely is 310 and 313. Third most likely is 39 and 316. And then least most likely is 36 and 317. Yeah. Somewhere in that zone. But it could be anywhere within this sequence. Yeah, I think it does have up until like 320. Yeah, basically reading the GameStops now, his DD was basically saying T plus 45. So basically that first day in the sequence where we saw like large FTDs was 114. 114 plus T45 ends up being 320. This also ends up being OPEX day. So I'm thinking everything should be settled by then. I do think that this following week, the 316 and 320, it is going to be very volatile. But I think the peak will be right here. Yeah, and then this is just, oh yeah, the one big curveball, again, was from the October FTDs for 22 million. That's due on the 12th, but I don't know if they settle exactly on 105 on T105 or if it's like 1 day before or 2 days before. So that might shift a little bit, but still 311 looks really good. Yeah. Yeah, constipation, the longer they wait to go poopy, the worse it'll be for them, and the bigger the boomie. Just something to keep in mind. If they want to constipate the FTDs, then it's going to suck for them. Yeah. So for those of you who really want to play it safe, April options are good, because at least you'll have until earnings in March to let everything happen. Yeah. And then again, just showing this chart from May of last year. This was the extended trading hours. This is the regular trading hours. Boom. And then the week before earnings, I'm thinking this is already going to be after the peak, but it's still going to be like super volatile, and it's going to be trying to find an equilibrium. I'm talking like bouncing between 24 and 28, like I don't think we're going to get over the peak / a new high, but the whole week has really good T plus 35 FTDs. Maybe I was wrong about that. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong dates. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Oh, Gotta move my head again. Oh no. Yeah, so right here, I'm sorry that this chart is very cluster-fucked. But basically, these notionals that you see here, this was from basically the week that Michael Burry told us that he bought. Yeah, very good T plus 35 FGDs that whole week. So I think it's going to be very volatile, just pinging back and forth. Yeah, Monday in specific and Tuesday in specific are going to have just really, really great price action. Yeah, so be, what's the word? Be very careful that week. And then the week afterwards, this is going to be earnings week, I'm guessing. Right now I'm seeing Tuesday 3-4 in after hours as earnings day. Yeah, I'm guessing as soon as it can, volatility is going to try to become low. But then earnings might have another MOAF back to 29. But then it could dump back lower to 23, like afterwards. Obviously, we need to get through these first 2 weeks. So these are just like very loose guesstimates. So do not fucking make any trades based off of any of this data. Don't make any trades off of any data at all. You should be listening to other people and deriving your own conclusion based off all of this stuff. But this is just kind of what I see. Let me just... This was my original prediction from a couple of weeks back about what we would see. Basically, next week will be the first bunny ears, and then we retrace back, and then another bunny ears for an earnings MOAF. But then after that, dump down. I don't know if we can get back to $20 this quickly. I think it needs to elongate out a little more. But this was just a rough guesstimate. I mean, this was from a month ago. Yeah, just about. So that was from a month ago. So yeah. And then going into plan B, C, and D's nuts. Obviously, these are all just guesstimates. If we don't see action next week, if they manage to hold off the pump, then earnings will likely be the biggest MOAF that we've seen thus far. What I'm talking about this is the biggest MOAF that we've seen so far. Was exactly 1 year ago, basically, for the March earnings. This one went all the way up to 29.80, and it started at around a similar bottom. Yeah, this was bottom at 21.56. So I have a feeling if they do hold it off, then we're probably going to break 30. That's why I'm thinking they probably won't hold it off, and they'll probably get everything settled before OPEX happens. But they should settle by T plus 45. And so 120, which was RC's buy day, plus T45 is 325. So basically they have to settle by earnings, which is just going to create a headache for them. So that's why I think next week is going to be the peak. Yeah. So that's if nothing happens or it's underwhelming. And then if it happens to be bigger than I thought, are you sure you've tried every combination of Fibonacci's and trend lines? I've tried enough for now. But what about switching the chart to regular trading hours? If you guys remember my prediction for the longer one, basically the edge of the galaxy was following the extended trading hours, and what I foresaw is the next time we hit the white line was going to be December of this year. But there is a chance, because I switched it to regular trading hours, there is a tiny chance that we go up to like 40 something for this run. I think it's very unlikely, but it could happen. I definitely don't think that anybody should buy $40 call options or $35 call options or anything like that. I think that's going to be a waste of your money. Obviously, again, I'm not like giving you financial advice, but I think it's just going to be super fucking stupid to buy out far out that money. Yeah, I haven't had enough indicators for me to say that $40 is likely, but there is a chance. There's a very, very slim chance. I say it's like 4.17% out of 100%. So yeah, don't trade on that, and be careful. But I just want to put it out there because if it does end up happening, then I could say that it was within the parameters of my estimates. I need to cover my bases. Yeah. And then this is just the Curry chart again, an update, the last update that we had. And then this is the update from this weekend. I didn't post it because I don't feel like it needs to update every weekend. But this is currently where we are. Yeah. Where are we right now? Okay, we're still about here. We got power hour in 30 minutes still. That'll be interesting. Oh, final words. Oh, wow, we're basically done. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be with my family for a couple of weeks. So I will be not available for questions or comments and stuff like that. So if you're DMing me or like giving me questions and whatnot, just be prepared for that I'm not going to answer. Yeah, I'm going to be spending time with my family. Yeah, I have some videos and memes preloaded, but otherwise I'm going to be mostly unavailable. Yeah, Zen Farm 69. Just remember to breathe coming up, because if I am right, this is going to be like one of the most hype sequences that we've ever had in GameStop over these past 5 years. I know that I'm going to be freaking out, but I'm also going to be like super calm and collected at the same time. It's going to be a very weird mix of feelings. Yeah, but lock in, buckle up, make good decisions. Don't fall into FOMO. Remember to breathe, have a plan, have a backup plan, have an oh shit plan, have a backup oh shit plan. Because it's going to get volatile. And if you're, especially like, if you start falling into FOMO and trading at bad prices, you could get screwed over. And when that happens, don't fucking blame me and don't be pissy at me and say I was whatever. I've been wrong before and I'm very prepared to be wrong again. Okay? So remember, you are accountable for your own trades. Don't blame that shit on me. And also, no crying in the casino. And definitely no fucking complaining if this ends up being wrong. Again, because I've said so many times, I'm just speculating. I've been wrong so many times. Yeah. And also, if I'm confident on where we are in the emoji timeline, I'll probably vague post the emoji for that respective day on that day. Like, for example, if I happen to put the US flag microphone emoji on Friday, it'll be because I'm very confident that that was indeed that day. So that's just to give you like another like indicator of, oh, okay, this is where Butt Farm thinks we are. Obviously, it could always change, and we need to like fix our guesses and theories and motivations as we get more information and whatnot. But I might update you if that's what I feel. Yeah. And if I end up being right, more or less, I'm going to be vague posting a lot. I'm going to be posting a lot of memes, a lot of hype. I'm going to be basically annoying. So this is your warning. Just mute me or unfollow me or block me, whatever you need to do. I'm not going to care. I'm just going to have fun with it. And then also, this is a big one. This is not MOAS. I know you're going to hate me. This is not MOAS. Moas, I don't think is going to be this year. Even if we get merger and acquisition news, which we should be. I don't think Ryan Cohen would dick us around for a whole year and not give us a merger. But even if that happens, I don't think that this is Moas. So I'm just going to put that out there. Put that out there. For the people who are hyping you up and saying, oh, this has to be it, blah, 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 because of this, that. You can listen if you want, but I have a feeling you'll get burned. So just keep that in mind. I don't think it's this year. Yeah, let's get ready to ride this worm. I still haven't watched Dune. I probably should. I'll get 3 hours. Yeah, I'll watch it at some point. Who knows? Yeah, but good luck. Yeah, I mean that was. Oh wow! So I got through in an hour and 26 minutes basically. So I'm gonna spend the rest of the time going through the chat. If for those of you guys who just wanted to tune in and get the fucking gist of it, like that was all of it. That was the presentation. Now I'm just gonna go through the chat, answer questions and whatnot, and then in a little bit I'm gonna open up one single Pokemon Ascended Heroes pack from my ETB that I got. I know that I said I was gonna wait until next week, but I can't wait anymore. I'm excited, and I wanted to do a pack opening because it seems so much fun. Yeah. Okay. Davey boy, how you doing, my dude? Welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm getting around to these now. It's much later, but if you're still here, give another shout out so I know that you're still here, everybody. Yeah, Magic Box Nostalgia. Oh, thank you for the love. Thank you. Booty, yeah, Dirty Charsk, booty indeed. Miles Moas, good vibes. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Right back at you. Shift Key. Thank you for coming, my man. Thank you for coming. Crazy Tail, yo, indeed. Welcome. Yep, Shift Key, Blood Moon. Yeah, that's going to be tomorrow. The Blood Worm Moon. Yeah, with a total lunar eclipse as well. So it's going to start like right around 3:30 something, the eclipse, but then the peak of it will happen at around 6:33 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. Kickflip guy, how you doing, my dude? Holy shit, I love your super stomp posts, my man. Good to see some hype. Keep doing those kickflips. And if you can, throw a pop shove it in there at some point. If you can. Lynn, how you doing? Thank you for making it. Glad you're here. Mags, if you're still here, how you doing, Hovey? How you doing? I don't know if you're still here. This was about an hour and a half ago, so my bad. Dirty Chars, I bet what? I don't know what that means. This is probably too early. Earlier in the stream, probably something I forgot about. My bad. Magic Box Nostalgia. Yeah, the DD from the GameStops now is super stick. Still trying to wrap my head around it. Same here. I gotta reread that one. Yeah. Shift Key. Yeah, new FTD data. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Eclipto. You missed a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you probably came in around like right here or something like that. So you have to go to the beginning and watch the stream from there. But thank you for coming and welcome. Muka, when do you think we will get merger acquisition filing? May. I think we're going to get it in May. Where's the chart? Hold on. Yeah, just to play it back from last year, Ryan Cohen started teasing the Bitcoin stuff in February, and then it wasn't until the end of May that we finally got news. I think it's going to be a similar timeline where he is like giving us hints and stuff like that, but he's probably not going to deliver until May. And the reason I think it'll coincide with May is just because I think that he times these announcements to coincide with the uh, settlement cycles and the T+35 and the price action. I think that he literally times it. I don't know how else to put it, but I'll just leave that there. Yeah. Tommy Honest, how you doing, my dude? I gotta listen to your song again. Those good tunes, my man. Good tunes. Thank you for coming. Neuropanic, thank you as well. Thank you for coming, my dude. Bill, big love to you as well. Thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, everybody's answering. Hell yeah. All right, all right. We're catching up on the chat, baby. Yeah. Yeah, big love, Phil. Thank you. Old biker, thank you for coming regardless, my man. You'll have to go back to the beginning and then look at the stream from there for all the information. But thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Yeah, ride the worm, baby. Davey, you're still fucking here, my man. Look at that. It's fucking awesome, dude. That's fucking awesome. You aren't that important. Thank you for joining. Actually, I think you were one of the first ones in here, weren't you? I gotta like, so I'm looking at all your comments and stuff on a coagulated or a combined format on the Restream website, but I gotta go back into like the individual streams. Yeah, I'll check up on that in a little bit. But you aren't that important. Thank you for always being here, my dude. Love seeing your name every time. Appreciate it. Corporal Mancer, cheers to you as well. Thank you, my man. Thank you for joining. Old biker, you rock, my dude. Thank you. Libertine, thank you for joining. Pound right back at you, dude. Ooh, okay. Shadow Jet Fight. Is the Lego chart just infinite cycles of green waves? You know what? I'm going to make a new thing. I should move this here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, I don't like that. Let's do egg. I'm going to share with you my current Lego chart. We're on Lego chart 15, I think. This is my current understanding of the Lego chart. Because the actual algo isn't like the fractal isn't like this. It doesn't look like this. I think this is what happens when it loses control. My understanding of the fractal and what it looks like is this, which is a downward motion until finally boom. So I think here at 0.5, this is when this finally happens. Yeah. So I'm thinking that 0.5 is May 2028. Yeah. So that's my current understanding of the Lego chart. And again, this is version 15. So there's a lot of different versions out there. Each one of them from before has been wrong. So just keep that in fucking mind. Yeah, to the moon indeed, Tommy. Yeah, cheers, Shadow Fight. Or Shadow Jet Fight. Eclipto, we are absolutely getting a pole shift and chaos. But I think that's going to be after 2030. Yeah, I think we got a little bit of time. ID search, thank you, my man. I will indeed enjoy the family time. Thanks for stopping by. Magic Box asks, do you think there's a chance that DFE knows the FTD settlement data for May? And if so, Maybe he has the power to add an extra stack of FTD, if that makes sense. May of last year or May of this year? Yeah, because the FTD, I'm guessing you mean this year. Um, but basically, uh, this year, basically the way I see it, what fucking day was it? So 12:03:56. So basically, the way I see it, you have to look at what was about T105 and T70 and T35 and then C34 leading up to that specific point in time. I think Warren Kitty is able to do the math on this because I mean anybody can do the math on this. Oh wait, let me make sure that the chart is still readable. Okay, yeah. Right here we see that on 12/3 there's $48 million worth of notional for the FTDs. Next to that though, it's not really that much. And if we remember that there's like a decay of pressure and energy that disappears each time. So basically the only day that matters in terms of looking at T105 would be 1203. Other than that though, I don't think any of these days are going to have enough of a push for us to really think about the T105 in that regard. Now, going back to the GameStops now and his DD, there's definitely like another push that happens around that time period in May. But you'll have to go to his document and read on his explanation of that. Because for right now, I am seeing some big uppies in May. But does DFV know them? He knows more than us, for sure. In terms of like how to put together the data that we have, but I think that he has pretty much the same FTD data we have access to, more or less. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think he does understand the settlements, and I guarantee you that he's probably been playing these cycles along as well. He's just not doing it in 5,000 call blocks in order to remain like incognito, basically. Yeah, but I hope that answers your question more or less. AJ, welcome, my dude. Let's see. What do you think Kevin is trying to explain in the videos? I ain't gonna lie to you. I think Kevin is not giving us tinfoil. I don't think that he is able to provide for us what his brother provides for us. I think I think Kevin is just doing movie reviews. And I do think that he's involved in Bed Bath and Beyond, and he's giving hints towards like DK Butterfly and stuff like that. But in terms of like, is he giving us dates or timelines or anything? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's literally just been like giving us hype. So I personally haven't looked too much, or I don't give too much credence into his tinfoil that he's putting out or not putting out, because I've just had enough experience with tinfoil, with exploring every option and every availability and every nook and cranny and avenue that I can for tinfoil, that I'm finally at a point where I'm comfortable with like, okay, Ryan Cohn is definitely putting out tin, Roaring Kitty is definitely putting out tin, Mirror Kitty is definitely has put out tin, and then there are some other accounts here and there, but in terms of Kevin Gill, I think he's doing his own thing, and I'm not putting too much emphasis and credence into what he's saying. I like his movie reviews though. I think that him and his brother have really great taste in movies. Yeah, and it's nice to be reminded of like, oh yeah, that's a fucking great movie. Like I don't know if you guys saw the Prisoners review though, but that's such an underrated fucking movie, dude. There's just no like barely anybody has seen that movie, but it's so good. And so, just as a big cinephile, big movie fan, I love that he's putting out these reviews because it's just I don't know, it's good stuff. It's fun. Yeah, but yeah, just be careful of spending too much time and energy trying to figure out like what he's puzzling out and then putting out into the world. I wouldn't put too much energy into that. I think that he's more for fun. Yeah. Pole shift just in time to fry the electronic banking system. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of interesting that we are also at a solar maximum right now. Yeah, we were at a solar maximum in 2024, and then we're just chilling here right now. And then this is what it's projecting to move forward. But something that we've just seen throughout history, there's a very interesting correlation that happens between the peaks of solar cycles and solar energy and wars that happen in the world. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. War and the sun. And then the lunar cycle and the full moon. Hmm. 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 I just think it's really funny how people will scoff at astrology and they fail to completely they completely forget that our entire way of life revolves around the stars. What is a day? It's when the sun's out. What is a night? It's when the sun has gone away. Whoa! It's almost as if our entire day to day revolves around the sun. And people want to tell me that stars don't matter? Bro, our entire fucking way of life revolves around a star. It amazes me that people are like, no, astrology doesn't work. Okay. Clearly, you just haven't looked into it. You have immediately rejected an idea that you haven't looked into, that you haven't researched on, and you haven't debunked it by yourself. You've just taken an assumption, and you know what assuming does? It means you're a fucking cunt. Man. Uh, what's a goose egg? What do you mean? I need to look this up. Goose egg idiom. Let's see. A goose egg is an American idiom meaning zero, nothing, or a score of zero in sports, sembling from the resemblance of the digit zero to a goose egg. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Rubs, I agree. Also, welcome. Yeah, I think Kevin is here to make us happy and keep people hyped. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Blood Moon tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, Blood Worm Moon. Yep. Planets aligning. Oh yeah, that was this weekend. I'm guessing that they're still kind of in alignment. Um, but yeah, it was like a 6 planet alignment this weekend. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Shadow Jet Fight, I can confirm the good plant harvested under a full moon is peak resin production for most plants. The Vietnamese were onto that for harvesting too. Mm-hmm. Listen, water is heavily affected by the moon. The tides are affected by the moon. Human beings are 70% water. What do you mean the moon doesn't affect us? It absolutely does. Also, this is anecdotal information, but when I've talked to my EMT, like paramedic friends, they have also corroborated my theory that shit goes down on a full moon. And I've also heard like from internet policemen and people like that. And also when I was in the military, I would talk to the security forces. Everybody corroborated the full moon makes people wild for some reason. This is it all fits. It all fits. Holy shit, okay. I think I finally caught up to the chat. Oh wait, let me check the individual chats real quick. Dirty Charsk, 312 is my birthday. Happy early birthday, and have fun with that one. Have fun with that one. Make good decisions. Make good decisions. Okay, cool. Let me check. All right, cool. I'm completely caught up on the fucking chat. That's awesome. That is awesome. So now, yeah, so I decided to splurge at GameStop because I went in there and this ETB was sitting on the counter. There was like 7 of them or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, man, they're making us pay scalper prices for this shit. But I was also like, am I actually gonna be able to find this ETB at MSRP? And I pulled the trigger because Dragonite's my favorite. I had to get this ETB. I haven't gotten an ETB in like since like 2024, or actually maybe it was last year. I don't know, but I've skipped a bunch of the last ETBs. So for this one, I decided to splurge. But yeah. So let's see here. Let's open this baby up because I've never done a thing. Oh, okay. Shadow Jet Fight says when I worked retail, Fu Moon brought in the wildest customers. See, see. I'm telling you, some shit happens. So that's why if you're like trying to have a peaceful night, stay in when it's the full moon. Don't go out and party and shit, because that's, I don't know, you're asking for trouble. And it's just crazy to me that people don't realize that it's like connected. Whatever, bro. Jake Town. I've been farming fence guys. You watch me after the fact. Richard always a good thing to say about you. Oh, I didn't realize Richard talked about me. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining J Town. I'm glad that you were able to join live. Also, much love to Richard. I miss watching his streams every now and then. I know that he's spending more time with his family and whatnot, so I hope him all the best. But yeah, I got a lot of love for Richard. He's definitely one of the better better individuals who has come out of this community. Yeah, he's always got good vibes and good thoughts. Obviously, I don't have to agree with everything that he says, but I think that he's got a really good head on his shoulders. And much love to him. I gotta find out when he talked about me. Oh, I guess all of his streams are gone now, so I can't catch up on that. Ah, damn. I didn't realize that he spoke about me. Damn. I would have loved to have seen the clip on that. Just like, oh, it's like, yeah, it would have been just like this. Would have been just like, oh, it's not about me. Yeah. Oh, that happened on Jackie's stream on Friday. I didn't watch it live, but somebody had brought my name up in the chat, and I was watching it yesterday or something. I was folding laundry, and then he was just like, "The legend Butt Farm 69 says that he watches Jackie for TA," and I was like, oh, 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 oh. Fucking love it. Yeah, but J Tap, thank you for joining, my man. Much love to you. But yeah, let's open this ET. God, that fucking love Dragonite. I'm only opening one pack because I'm saving the majority of them to open later. He wasn't a fan of my name. Well, he's the only one. Everybody loves my name. Oh, all right. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 packs. I am going to open the exact middle one. Let's see how this goes. Okay. I'm very methodical about how I open these because for whatever reason I like to keep the these little wrappers. I don't know why, but I like every single Pokemon pack I've opened. I keep these packs. I don't know why I do it, but I don't know. It's just at some point I would love to just count them and just see, wow, this is how many booster packs I've opened up in my life. That's crazy. I should have just used my scissors for this. Oh well. Yeah, okay, that's much better. But yeah, apparently these are new. Like the grading, or not the grading, the rarity scale is different. Come on. Yeah, the rarity scale is different for these. I don't know if I just messed up the thing. Okay. So I'll pull out of the pack, and then this is the energy. Got a Nummel. Tynamo. Yo, Tynamo looks so cute. Oh. I don't know where these are supposed to be in the middle of the pack or not, but that's there. Mischievous. Oh. Cascoon. This is such an awkward way to fucking do this. Iris's fighting spirit. Camerupt. Mawile. Ooh, that's cool. Haunter is probably my favorite ghost type Pokemon. So cool. Scraggy. Alright, I think... Let's see what's next. This is going to be the rare of the pack. Oh! Lunatone, okay. The moon. Crescent moon. Interesting. How we were just talking about the moon. Yeah. Cool. Waha, God bless you as well, my friend. What's happening with GME right now? Oh, we're right here? Shit. We're barely green on the day. Power Hour is about to start. But that was pretty much all I had to say. That was my stream. I mean, I guess I could vamp for another 4 minutes. Yeah, we can end it right at 2. Because right now we're at 156. Interesting. Yeah. I've never had time to kill before. Let's see. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, I guess I could go into my future notes to see what I wanted to talk about then. Yeah. Talk about Moaz. Let's see here. Because there's nothing really that I haven't covered in earlier material that I think would be worth bringing up now. Or like is super pertinent to bring up now. Oh, let me check some of my notifications. I got a minute and 35 seconds. I got a vamp. I'm going to try to end it exactly at 3 o'clock so that we can get exactly 2 hours on this stream. Why? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like ending it exactly would be nice. All right, we got less than a minute. Holy shit. Holy shit. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. For those of you who are repeat viewers, thank you for always coming with a just great energy every time. I appreciate that you come with good vibes, good questions. I hope that my stuff has been helpful. Remember, this is not financial advice, and yeah, there's just a lot to happen. A lot that's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. We're going to find out if this puzzle's been solved or if we have to go back some squares again. But basically, thank you all, everybody, for joining. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your 2 weeks and whatever. Next time I'll be on is